And then my last one right here, the Chiefs versus Raiders. Joe Morley's Raiders.
Man, Joe, I'm sorry, Joe Morley, but the Raiders is finna get smacked.
Another brand new episode, Ethan and Mike Sports Show. I am your host, Ethan, and today I brought in a new person today. 3 times he's been on this show. 49ers fan base all throughout. Bogard Scott, free, as I mentioned last episode. How you doing?
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing great, man. How about you, my brother?
Doing pretty good. You know how much this is the 3rd time you've been on my show, isn't it?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, our shows our organizations work together well. You know what I mean?
100%. I've been on your show, I'm pretty sure 3 times now too.
Oh yeah.
So we're making it 3 for 3, making it a tied series there.
I like it. I mean,
how you been, man? Before I really start the show.
Just we out here just working every day. You know what I mean? And this one we actually planned this show. Before the season started, we were like, when your Dolphins play my Niners, we got to do something. You know what I mean?
100%. I know you've been really busy with the Rum Boys. I've seen you on Thursday nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, really almost like the whole entire week, really.
Yeah, we're basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Sunday mornings. It's awesome, man. This is exactly what I envisioned, this season was going to be like, because, we're really trying to, really trying to push all our platforms, you know what I mean? And our community, obviously the Ethan and Mike Sports Show, it's a part of our community, and we just support the entire community. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100% right there. Now, before I start the show today, I want to thank my sponsor for the football season, Thrive Ice Fantasy. So, what is Thrive Ice Fantasy? It's a game where you go on, you pick 10 players out of 20. You pick, if you win, you get some money. So, what are you waiting for? Download Thrive Fantasy on your app today. Where you get, if you use our code Ethan and Mike, you put down $20, you put down 20, and you get $20 back. It's a win-win for both. So what are you waiting for? Prop up today and go join now. And now Bogard, the way we're gonna go is to fantasy waiver wire for this week's 5. Let's start out with the quarterbacks right here. I'm gonna make 2 of them right here. I like Justin Herbert and Daniel Jones. Now I really like those 2 matchups. Here's why: the Saints. When you look at the Saints, they really struggle on defense, really, especially against tight ends and quarterbacks. For example, the Lions, Matthew Stafford did pretty well, although they lost. Derek Carr, vehicle, was doing pretty well against the Saints. So I will expect Justin Herbert to do the same thing, just like he did last game against the Bucs. So Justin Herbert is going to be a good pickup if you don't have him. There's 50% of people have it right now, but that'll be a great pickup, especially since if you have Tannehill, for example, as your quarterback, that might be skeptical. And then if you have Aaron Rodgers in your fantasy wire, it's very interesting. And then Daniel Jones is very questionable, but they're playing against the Cowboys. The Cowboys defense has allowed a lot of mistakes against Cleveland Browns, who we expect the Browns to be 3-1 right now. Let's be real.
It's a crazy world. It's 2020. You know what I mean? Crazy
times right there. So I'll put Daniel Jones in there, actually. So he could have a nice field day today. What do you think, Bogart?
All right. The Danny Dimes pick, I'm not mad at it because he is playing the Cowboys. I like your Justin Herbert call because the Saints secondary, they might have Marshawn Lattimore and Janoris Jenkins back because they missed last week's game against the Lions, and if they play, they're not going to be 100%. You know what I mean? So I like that call. I especially like the Justin Herbert call because if you pick him up now, you could hold him and play him again next week against the Jets, and that's a really bad defense. Yeah, but I got one better. I got one for you. Teddy Bridgewater, man. Teddy Roosevelt, man. Teddy 2 gloves. I like him this week. He's playing against Atlanta. He's one of my top streamers on the week.
Oh, yeah. I like Teddy, especially since he has a great matchup, which we'll get to more If I'm not mistaken, they're playing against the Jets. If I'm not mistaken, right there.
Against the Falcons.
Falcons.
Yeah, that's basically the Jets from the NFC South. You know what I mean? As far
Yeah,
as
you're right, because they're in the third string corner already. They're already picking up the streets. Anybody in the streets, really, if you think
and
about.
Bridgewater, Teddy Roosevelt, man, he's throwing that thing. You know what I mean?
100%. That man's going, especially Robbie Anderson,
Oh yeah,
especially
I
getting nice
love.
fantasy
Shout
points.
out to my man Robbie Anderson, the string bean. I love the string bean.
Hey, he's been doing good, especially when he came from the Jets to the Panthers. That was a nice pickup for the Panthers, really.
Anybody who gets away from Adam Gase does better. You know what I mean?
100%. I noticed that with my Finns, really.
Yeah, and with the thing with Robbie is that with Robbie Anderson, man, the string bean, he actually played for Matt Rule in Temple, so them picking him up was a no brainer. Like he already knows the system, he's flourishing. I mean, I know a lot of DJ Moore owners are kind of pissed about it because where you had to draft DJ Moore was pretty high, and like Robbie Anderson's he was like a double digit round draft pick, or let alone maybe even a waiver wire pickup that people are loving right now. You know what I mean? He's almost like a must start.
Yeah, 100%. I know Robbie Anderson's been, as you said, doing much better than DJ Moore as right now, because I think Teddy really likes Anderson more. So
yeah,
Anderson, if you don't have him, I will pick him up as well if for wide receivers. I know I have him in my fantasy lineup, so I'm hoping he does some good stuff right there. You know what I mean? Got running backs. I like Freeman, actually. Devontae Freeman for the Giants against the Cowboys. As I mentioned with the Cowboys defense, they do suffer against the run, which you saw Kareem Hunt and Ernest Johnson, who no one really thought that he was going to get 95 yards more than Hunt, actually, that game against the Cowboys.
I mean, the Cowboys, they were giving up, an average of 10 yards a run, like 10 yards per carry. So that's, you know what I mean? Devontae Freeman, he's a great streaming option, or even just a pickup. Like if you're without an Aaron Jones, or you're without possibly a Derrick Henry, because, like you said, that game might be in the air, or maybe even a Singletary. Like, I would pick up Devontae Freeman right now. I mean, obviously, also if Josh Kelly is out there still, on your waivers, I would definitely pick him up, because he should have an increased workload with Austin Eckler going down. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I'll go to wide receivers. I have Justin Jefferson. If he's still out there in your league, they're playing a nice Seattle team that gives a lot of reception yards to wide receivers. I would really trust in Justin Jefferson, since they're going to really target Adam Thielen. So I will trust Jefferson in this game against Seattle.
Yeah, and the thing with Jefferson too is, you know what I'm saying, he back-to-back games, 100 yards plus. And besides, Justin Jefferson, he might be, he's probably rostered by now. If he's out there, yes, definitely pick him up, because that's more than a streaming option. That's someone you could plug and play, weekly. Also, another guy, man, that should be available is T. Higgins. I mean, I don't really like the matchup against Baltimore, but T. Higgins is just another guy. Like, you want to pick him up before, because he's a guy you should be on your roster. Yeah, I mean, he should be owned.
Yeah, 100% agree. I remember I mentioned him last week with T. Higgins. It's a nice pickup, especially Joe Burrow is actually liking him over AJ Green. So I would definitely pick him up. But the start this week, no.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what though? I'm still not afraid to start him, honestly, in a box, because they have been giving up, production to the opposing wide receivers. I mean, obviously the Chiefs tore them up, and then even the Redskins, Terry McLaurin, he won off on them. So, you know what I mean? So I'm not necessarily. I still think the Ravens defense is great all around, but you know what I mean? I'm not mad at him being a flex this week, T. Higgins.
Now, since we're going to go to flex for here, Dalton Schultz for the Cowboys has been really impressive for Dak Prescott right there, especially against the Giants too at the same time. So I'll definitely pick him up if he's still in your league. I will definitely pick him up if you're really struggling in tight ends positions, really. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Ernest Johnson, the Browns. Don't be surprised if he starts doing a lot of production right there, because Chubb's going to miss some time. And what Johnson did against the Cowboys, although they're playing against the Colts, but I really think Johnson would be a nice pickup right there for fantasy waiver wire.
Yeah, I'm not mad at picking up Ernest Johnson. I mean, he's gonna get some work. I mean, obviously Kareem Hunt's gonna get the bulk of the workload, but also Kareem Hunt, he's dealing with some kind of groin injury. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Ernest Johnson, man, and he looked good, man, behind that line. Looked really good.
He looked impressively. Like everyone's like, "Who is this? Where did he come
Yeah,
from?"
D Ernest. I
D.
like
Ernest
it.
Johnson.
One hell of a unique name too. D apostrophe Ernest. I love it.
Right? I was thinking like Duke Johnson. Is he still there? I don't think so. I was using Texans.
I actually call him fake Duke Johnson. You know what I mean? Because like when I see it, like, who's that? Like, oh, it's the fake Duke Johnson.
Let me go to tight ends since we already mentioned flex. So tight ends, I actually got Evan Ingram actually for the Giants. Notice how like, a lot of Giants players are here in this fantasy.
Yeah.
Player.
That's we're going into week 5. You got to follow the trends. You know, you fall around these bad defenses. You know what I mean? So you know, we're talking Cowboys, we're talking Falcons, Jets. You know what I mean? Who else? Even the Giants. You know what I mean? These are defenses that you want to chase around and because you get production out of your players. You know what I mean?
100%. Especially since Evan Ingram has been too much productive, but I think he's going to be productive this Sunday. He'll get a touchdown at least for this
I like
game
it.
against the Cowboys. And then Tyler Higbee from the Rams, especially against the Washington football team's defense. I actually like him for tight end for the Rams, especially Goff doing pretty well. Although he did slack last week against the Giants, but I think he will bounce back against the football team this week.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and obviously Higbee's one of those guys that's like more than likely rostered, but you know, what I mean, you start him with confidence this week.
I don't want any kickers, I got Jason Myers actually for the kicker from Seattle against the Vikings. He'll get a nice couple of points for you right there. And then Blankenship has been really impressive actually. I mentioned last week, pretty good right there. I will trust him against the Browns. Great kicker. He helps a lot of fantasy players right there. 14 points to be exact last week for Blankenship. So expect more if you're struggling with Bucker as your kicker.
I might even say the Dolphins kicker, man, because like if they're gonna struggle against my Niners defense, they're probably gonna be kicking them more field goals than anything. You know what I
mean? Defense, the Cardinals defense and the Rams defense. Both teams have nice games. The Jets and then the Washington football, especially the Washington football, changed their quarterback from Haskin to Kyle Allen.
Yeah, so, I actually think that's an upgrade to a degree.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because here's the thing, Kyle Allen, he came from Carolina with Scott Turner and Ron Rivera. So, when now Scott Turner and Ron Rivera, they're over there in Washington. So, bringing in Kyle Allen with, it's a guy who already knows the system. I actually, I still think they lose the game, obviously, but I like it for Terry McLaurin and Antonio Gibson. Yeah.
Thrive Ice Fantasy. Now, this is where I pick three players. Are they going to go over or under? Let's go with the first player I got here. Devontae Parker. Will he get more than 67 yards against your Niners, Bogard?
Less.
Yeah. I actually have him a little bit over. He'll get a solid 80 yards out of the 49ers.
I think he got like 65 yards in him. That's why I'm going under. I mean, we've been fairly good against receivers. I mean, obviously, DeAndre Hopkins tore us up week 1, but you know what though? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna agree with you on this.
Going over?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over. I think he got at least 70 in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I will see like more like 70. I don't see 100. I see like more like 70 and 90 range for Parker, and maybe a touchdown in case they do actually throw the pass this week. But right. I actually like Parker over than under. And then the next player I have is Metcalf. Will he get more than 77 yards over the Vikings?
I'd say yeah.
Yeah.
It's a potential shootout. That Minnesota secondary is really trash. You know what I mean? I mean, they're really young back there. So, maybe they get it together this week, but I'd still say DK's been a monster. He's getting a lot of and he's their field stretcher as well. So, he can get 40 yards in one catch easily. You know what I mean? So I'm going to take the over. I'm going more.
Yeah, I agree with her there. DK Metcalf getting more than 100 yards this week. I'm getting that right now.
Nice.
So over. This is my over right here. Metcalf getting at least 100 yards more for this game right here against the Vikings. That's what I got for you.
I like it.
And then my last one, I got Big Ben. He's coming back. So will he get more than 285 yards this game?
Playing the Eagles, yeah.
Playing Eagles, I agree there too.
The Eagles aren't gonna. The Eagles they're a fairly good run defense. You know what I mean? So, it's probably going to be their best bet to throw the ball on that secondary. So, and Deontay Johnson and Juju, they're killing it right now. So, yeah, I'd say Big Ben got like 280 to 300 yards in him this week.
100% agree right there. I actually have him over here, Big Ben, against the Eagles secondary. I think the Steelers will do much better against the Eagles than your 49ers did last week, which I don't know what the hell happened.
And we just,
and again, it's your secondary and third string quarterback. So let's keep it real right there. Let's keep it real.
I mean, I hope Jimmy G comes back this week for just, get us back into gear against your Dolphins, man.
Floridians Picks is where I choose three matchups in this week 5 and see who I got to win or my guess. So let's go with our first matchup, the moment of truth, the Dolphins versus the 49ers at 4:05 Eastern Time or 1:05 Pacific Time. So who you got, Bogard?
Man, I got to rock with the gang, man. You know what I'm saying? Bang, bang. You know what I'm saying? I got to go with my Niners.
Going Niners. What do you think the outcome's going to be, Bogard?
24-20, maybe. I don't really see a crazy high-scoring game. Like, we're going to be able to run on you guys for sure, because you guys' run defense isn't that great at all. So, you know what I mean? I could see us owning time of possession and maybe perhaps it being a lower-scoring game, maybe even 20-17, 20-14. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I think 24-20 is probably, like, the ceiling.
This matchup is going to be very interesting. I like how the Dolphins were last week. If we had scored those touchdowns, we would have probably upset the Seattle last week if you think about it. Although Russell Wilson has that arm.
Seattle.
I might be going crazy a little bit, but
hey, man,
if Jimmy G comes back, I got 49ers. If Jimmy G does not come back, I actually have my Fins actually by a field goal.
Hard to disagree there, man.
Because the secondary, which was Nick Mullins, if I'm not mistaken, correct, on your 49ers, was horrendous against the Eagles defense. And they had a premium CJ Beathard, if I'm not mistaken, that's his last name.
Yep.
Which he looks much better than Nick Mullins last week, let's put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, he came in and drove us down, you know what I'm saying? Scored a touchdown. So, yeah, man, you know what, though? If it's CJ Beathard, I'd still say we might pull this off against y'all. You know what I mean?
If it's Jimmy G, then I got your Niners. If it's the secondary, if it's Nick Mullins or CJ, I actually have Fins with an upset with a field goal. Right there.
Nice.
So I got Fins right there, 24-21, to put it in that perspective. Then my next game, the Saints versus the Chargers. This is going to be a very interesting one. Drew Brees versus Justin Herbert, the first-time matchups right there. I'm going to go first here. I actually will have the Saints actually for this game. I think the Saints will pull off. Will finally get their win column coming back with Detroit, and then now again with the Chargers. So I really see this as a win here. It's going to be by 7 points, so I got 38-31. It's going to be high scoring, though, 38-31 right here.
I like Justin Herbert this week. It's going to be fun seeing the kid in prime time for the first time, and he's playing against, a Hall of Famer. Like, I mean, he showed up against a Hall of Famer versus Tom Brady last week. So now, I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to take the Chargers in this one.
Wow. Chargers right here?
Yeah, I mean, because even if they get Michael Thomas back, he's going to be back. He's not going to be 100%. And he's going to draw Hayward, who's he's a dog, bro. Like, Casey Hayward's one hell of a cornerback. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and then, that Chargers defense, it's well-rounded. You know what I mean? Obviously, Tom Brady picked them apart. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man, I go with the upset. And I haven't really been like how the Saints have been looking.
Okay. I see the upset right here, the first upset in the year. Let's see. We'll see on this show. And then my last one right here, the Chiefs versus Raiders. Joe Morley's Raiders.
Man, Joe, I'm sorry, Joe Morley, but the Raiders is finna get smacked.
Woo! You hear it here, Morley.
Raiders are getting smacked in this one. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and that's for all these Raider content creators out there. They always find a way to throw shots at my Niners. So I'm just speaking how it is. The Raiders is getting smacked by the Chiefs.
I actually agree with you there too. The Chiefs look, even though the Patriots did show how to stop Patrick Mahomes on that Monday night, I just think Mahomes is too much for the Raiders defense right there.
Yeah.
Their offense is gonna get demolished. The Raiders offense is gonna get stopped right there. So I really like the Chiefs in this matchup right here, Bogard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, dial it up.
But thank you, man, for coming on for the third time in a row. Here we go, Bogard.
For having me, you know what I mean? You know, I love coming on the show. I gotta get you back on the Real Fantasy Playmakers ASAP. You know what I mean?
100%, man. If we talk about fantasy, let's do that, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm starting to get into it, which you can see now. So,
oh yeah, I love it, man. I see you doing your thing, man. That's why, you know what I mean. I'm glad that we're all in the same, community, man. Like it's awesome, bro.
100%, man. Thank you guys for listening to Ethan and Mike's Sports Show, episode 42. I'm your host, Ethan, and we'll see you next week for episode 43. See you then.